Hello YouTubers, Rick's RC and more here. As you can see sitting in front of me here, I have a redcat Everest Gen 7. There's all kinds of unboxing videos of these, so I didn't bother doing an unboxing obviously. Uh, this is just kind of my initial review and thoughts on the truck. I picked this up at a local hobby shop on Friday, and I've been playing around with it over the past couple of days. It's a very impressive scale crawler for the price. Now, I know these are going for about $200 in the States. I think I paid, it was just a little under $3 after taxes here. But it's got a lot of features that you would have to pay, like buy a $500 truck to get. It's just a generic body. It's not a licensed body at all. It's a mean looking body. I like the look of it. There's a pro version. This is the sport version. Pro version has a lot of accessories it comes with. A roll cage inside and some different shocks. CVD front drive shafts. I just got the sport model. It comes with some decals to customize it. I put the white decals on there. It also come with red and wood grain finish if you wanted a woody style Jeep. Take the shell off. The body shell, it's a little flimsy. It's a little thin in the bottom, but it's just gonna flex in. You're not gonna have to worry about it breaking or anything. Here's the truck itself. Now, the chassis on this is by a company called BPC. They've designed the chassis, and then Redcat's put its electronics, motors, and whatnot in it. Lots of adjustable. You can adjust the links. There's all kinds of different ways to adjust your links. Your suspension, body post, bumpers. I've made some adjustments to mine. Functioning beadlock wheels on 1.9 tires. Now these are licensed Super Swamper IROC tires by Integral. They're excellent traction, very squishy, very good foams in there. Gets very good traction, very good traction. The steering servo on it is a waterproof 15 kilogram metal geared servo from Hexfly. These are the servos that I have on my RS10 XT, and they've been going strong. I haven't had any issues with them. Also, it's got it's actually a Hobby Wing ESC, rebranded Hexfly. The good thing about this truck is it's lipo ready. There's jumpers. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them in here. Two jumpers there. One of the jumpers is to change it from nickel metal hydride to lipo setting. According to the manual, you can run 3S lipo in these, but they recommend a 2S. You're probably going to get more than enough power out of the 2S because the stock nickel metal hydride battery comes with it. It's got lots of power and quite a bit of speed for a scale crawler. You could even gear it down if you wanted to. And the other jumper there is for your drag brake. It's got an adjustable drag brake. Default setting is 100%. You just move the jumper over to the next two pins, and then you're at 50%, which is what I have it set at right now, depending on your terrain. And remove that jumper, and you actually have no drag brake, so it'll freewheel. Maybe if you're just hitting up some trails and no big hills or anything. There's the only downfall to these is the steering radius. It doesn't have a very good steering radius. There's all kinds of different videos showing you how to do the mods to make them steer sharper. There's different ways to do it. Some guys have been actually cutting into the pumpkin where that bar hits. Once you shave off, there's some stops on here on these front steering knuckles. I've already ground them down, and they hit the screws right there in the axle housing. So you grind them down, it'll turn sharper, but then you have an issue of your steering rod here bumping that pumpkin. What I actually did is, instead of carving into that pumpkin to get a little more steer out, I put some washers in the tie rod ends here just to raise that steering rod end up. Just put a couple little washers in each side because the pumpkin's round. So if you can get this steering link a little bit higher, you're going to have more clearance as you get closer to the top of that pumpkin where it's rounding in. It's not turning as sharp as it could. I'd have to put a bigger spacer in there or more washers. I need some longer hex screws, or I wouldn't be into, they wouldn't reach the nut at the bottom. But that was my way of getting a little bit better steering radius out of it without grinding or hacking away at any of the new plastics. It's got fairly good weight to it. It's all steel chassis, all aluminum links. It crawls very well. It's got more than enough wheel speed if you're into some mud and snow to clean the tires out. It comes with just a generic, I think it's like a Fly Sky rebranded 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. It's comfortable in your hand. It's got throttle trim, steering trim, and your steering dual rates, your reversing, all under this little protective cover. It works good. Like I said, this is just gonna be just a quick review. There's all kinds of reviews of these on YouTube, so I'm not going to get too in depth, other than to just kind of to share my little fix without having to carve into that pumpkin for your steering to get a little more steering out of it. Like I said, I just ground down the stops on those steering knuckles and put some washers underneath that bottom rod and brought it up a bit. It seems to steer a lot sharper. Another positive on these is it's all hex hardware on this. There's no Phillips screws to be found on this anywhere. Anybody who's been into the hobby for a while, that's a definite plus. They don't strip out near as easy. If you're, especially in something like this, you get a lot of you can adjust the links. You know, you're trying different ways. If you got a Phillips screw heads, they tend to start stripping on you, and then you're either replacing them or replacing them with hex hardware. Another note when I got it, the rear drive shaft was almost, the rear axle was straight on, so the pinion angle was I don't know, maybe 35-40 degrees. So I took the upper links, I moved them from the lower, more forward holes here and moved it up and back a hole, so that kind of gives you a little bit nicer angle for it to run. So it's not such an angle there, it's almost straight onto the rear end. The front's got a little bit more of an angle on it, but it's not bad. You can move your front upper links into these two holes if you wanted to. The only issue with that is once you do that, it tilts that front diff so far forward that when your suspension compresses, your servo actually starts hitting the bracing for your front bumper. I've seen where guys have sanded this down or routed it out to clear it. I like the way the link's set up down in this lower hole down here. It lets the wheel stay within the front wheel well without moving it forward, and then it, avoids you having to cut away at your front plastics here. Like I said, all you do is just play with different adjustments, different settings, and see what you like best. I found the rear suspension was a little stiff on it. That's probably to avoid the body torque. Being a single motor with drive shafts, when you're under torque, they tend to twist up. I angled my shocks a little bit just to soften it up just a little bit. You could go with a thinner shock oil, would probably make them a little more responsive, a little bit softer. Front feels pretty good actually to me. I haven't had it outside yet. I've just been playing with it around the house. Figured I'd do a quick review video before I took it outside and got it all dirty. It also comes with 4 light bucket holes here at the front, and it comes with the hardware to mount 5mm LEDs in there, and as well as 2 on the rear. It also comes with the hardware to mount LEDs in there if you wanted to get an LED kit and have some front drive lights and some rear tail lights. Yeah, it's for the money. You can't beat this for a scale crawler for the money. As you can see, articulation. I can get almost my fist under there. And you got to remember, this is a scale crawler. It's not going to articulate like a competition style rock crawler or anything. It's kind of made to be realistic, kind of like a real truck. But yeah, my initial thoughts on the truck are good. It's a blast to drive. It's nice smooth power. Decent body. You can get the body in silver or burnt orange. I got the silver. Put some stickers on it. The Pro version is like a dark green or a black. The Pro version is about $100 more. It does come with CVDs for the front, for your front axle, whereas this one's dog bone. But overall, I think this is still going to work well. They recommended a 2S, maybe a 3S. Maybe that's it's going to worry them about maybe breaking some parts, putting that kind of power through these. But like I said, even the stock nickel metal hydride that comes with this, it motors along pretty good. It seems to have really good power. So yeah, so that's just a quick kind of a initial review of the truck. If I do any mods down the road or anything, I'll do some more videos and maybe try to get some running videos of it crawling or maybe playing in the snow, something like that. But yeah, you could spend $500+ on a scale crawler, and or spend $300 on one of these guys, and it's probably just as capable or more capable of anything you're going to throw at it. Redcat's really done a lot of research into this and put a lot of thought into it. Functioning bead locks, that's great if you want to throw some super swampers up there and do some trailing or mudding with it. You can just take your bead locks off, peel off your tires, and slap them in, and away you go. Like I said, there's so many videos of these guys right now on YouTube, because it's such a good deal, like such a good price on a scale crawler with a steel frame and lots of good stuff. So browse around all the different videos, see the different way of modding it. There's all kinds of running videos of these guys as well. There's some videos where they're comparing them to like trucks where somebody's got like $1,000 invested into them, and they're doing pretty good. So anyway, if you're thinking about purchasing one of these guys, I definitely recommend them. I haven't had any issues with this so far, just running it around the house at all. We'll get it out to some terrain and see if there's any weak links in it or not. like I said, I hope this video helped you out. Have a good night.